This meeting of the U.S. Submarine Veterans Incorporated San Diego Base will come to order. Our creed, to perpetuate the memory of our shipmates who gave their lives in the performance of their duties while serving their country, that their dedication, deeds, and supreme sacrifice will be a constant source of motivation towards greater accomplishments, and to pledge loyalty and patriotism to the United States of America and its Constitution. Let's rise and please join Jack, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Cover. Eternal Father, we thank you for the heritage and liberty we enjoy as Americans, and for the privilege of having served in the submarine service. We ask your blessing for our shipmates who have made the supreme sacrifice and service to our nation as we gather here this evening to honor and remember them. Bless our shipmates who have gone ahead on eternal patrol, and those of our group who are sick, troubled, and bereaved. And bless and protect our shipmates on active duty as they serve in the first line of defense of our nation. We humbly ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
There's no one to report for the eternal patrol. The following boats were lost during the month of September. Bellringer, please strike a toll for the following boats. USS Seawolf, SS 197, lost on October 3rd, 1944, with a loss of 83 officers and men and 17 U.S. Army troops, when she was sunk just north of Morotai by USS Wawel, a destroyer escort. In this tragic error, Wawel mistook Seawolf for a Japanese submarine and had just sunk another destroyer. Seawolf ranked 7th for enemy ships sunk. USS S-44, SS-155, lost on October 7th, 1943, with a loss of 56 men when it was sunk off Paramasur Corrales. Oh, I have. S-44 was on her 5th war patrol after attacking a target thought to be a merchant on the surface. S-44 found herself in a losing gun battle with a heavily armed Japanese destroyer. 2 men were taken prisoner and survived the war. USS Wahoo, SS-238, lost on October 11, 1943, with a loss of 80 men near La Perouse Strait. Under command of one of the great sub-skippers of World War II, Lieutenant Commander Mush Morton, Wahoo was on her 7th war patrol. Wahoo had won a Presidential Unit Citation and ranks 5th in the number of enemy ships sunk. She was lost to depth charges dropped by a Japanese patrol aircraft. USS Dorado, SS-248, lost on October 12, 1943, with a loss of 77 men, when she was sunk in the western Atlantic near Cuba. Newly commissioned, she had departed New London and was en route to Panama. She may have been sunk by a U.S. patrol plane that received faulty instructions regarding bombing restriction areas or a German U-boat that was in the vicinity. USS Escalade, SS-294, lost on October 17, 1944, with the loss of 82 men. She was on her 1st war patrol and was most likely lost to a mine somewhere in the Yellow Sea. USS Darter, SS-227, lost on October 24, 1944, when she became grounded on Bombay Shoal off Palawan and was then destroyed to prevent her falling into enemy hands intact. The entire crew was rescued by USS Dace, winner of 1 Navy unit commendation. Darter had sunk a heavy cruiser and damaged another and went aground while attempting an in-around on an enemy formation in hopes of getting in an attack on a battleship. USS Shark II, SS 314, lost on October 24th, 1944, with a loss of 87 men when she was sunk near Hainan. The second boat to carry this name during World War II, she was on her third war patrol. Shark was sunk by escorts after attacking and sinking a lone freighter. Compounding the tragedy, it turned out that the freighter had 1,800 U.S. POWs on board. USS Tang, SS 306, lost on October 25th, 1944, with a loss of 78 men in the Formosa Strait. Tang was on her fifth war patrol. Tank ranked second in the number of ships sunk and fourth in tonnage, and had won 2 presidential unit citations. During a daring night surface attack, Tank was lost to a circular run by one of her own torpedoes. 9 of the crew were taken prisoner, including Commander O'Kane, and 5 who had gained the surface from her final resting place 180 feet below. All survived the war, and Commander O'Kane was awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. USS 05, SS 66, lost on October 29, 1923, with the loss of 3 men when rammed and sunk by SS Abandoraz off the Panama Canal. Let's please observe a moment of silent prayer. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. Senior Vice, do we have any past officers, new members, or guests present this evening?
Yes, we have 2 guests this evening. Welcome to 2 you ladies, Jackie and Judy. And that's all we have tonight that I'm aware of.
Jesse.
Jesse. Yeah, it's close.
Close enough. How many members present?
172.
No. Oh, present.
I wish it was
Jump the gun.
172. 16. 2 guests.
Mr. Treasurer, may we have your report?
At the present time, the balance on the checkbook is $1,199.98, and there's 1 check still outstanding for $10. We had several checks clear. At the present time, we also have with the savings account that we have included, we have a total of $23,768.26. Any questions?
The minutes of the September meeting are on the table. There are 2 corrections to be made. Correction number 1, did you go and correct all of them there, Jack, or just ours?
That's mine.
Just yours. All right, the corrections are in the internal patrol reports. We talked about Tudor Davis at our last monthly meeting, who was a member of our base. And the other was that it turns out there was actually 13 members, not 12. So after looking at the minutes, are there any other further corrections, additions, or deletions that need to be made? Hearing nothing, the minutes are accepted. Chaplain's still vacant. On the medical list is Kip Casper. So this past Saturday, Kip, Ray, and Harry met up to audit the books. As Kip was leaving the parking lot, he had to dump his bike, and he, fractured his shoulder, or his collarbone?
Collarbone and a bruised elbow and a bruised wrist.
A big kudos to John. Let's have a kudos for John for helping out with Kip. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Kip, I was told that you did a wonderful job helping out Kip, who had fallen on his
Oh,
motorcycle.
yes, and his, good friend of it is his son. They got the McKee, he was on McKee 3 a year before I got there. Yeah, he was XO, I forget, yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Thank you.
Is he doing okay?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a broken collarbone, bruised,
Yeah,
bruises, so he'll be
okay,
fine.
great. Hey, enjoy the cake, Mike, yeah.
You spoiled the surprise.
Make sure you guys get cake.
You're about to find out.
Mayor,
You'll find out about the cake.
the cake is under wraps, incognito.
Yes. Parade committee. Jack Kane.
Uh,
Oh, wait, hold on.
I think we should add Michael Hyman to the pinnacle list. He's been stuck at home, he's got caregivers and all that coming in to see him.
Oh. We shall add Michael Hyman to the pinnacle list. Back to Jack.
One more parade, Veterans Day, downtown San Diego. It's 9 o'clock setup. The parade is at 10:00. It behooves you to take the trolley and walk down from Little Italy because there is no parking down there. In fact, the old even the parking lot by Midway is now gone and torn all down. They're gonna put up another park. So take the trolley. 11 November, that's the last parade.
As you will see when we get to the 52 Boat Memorial, Harry might be pulling the floats on for the Veterans Day Parade. Membership committee.
172.
172 members. Paul for scholarship.
Well, I'm still looking for volunteers that are gonna start in March, April for the scholarships. I need 4 people, so start thinking about it. I was just saying,
And since you have the microphone, why don't you just keep it for the storekeeper?
I'm gonna work with a couple people, I got one other guy I'm buying, patches for. So if you need any patches, hats, whatever, let me know. Well, with that note, this is the new calendar. I just got these delivered yesterday. So these are gonna be $12 this year. Okay? And I have a list of people that ordered them.
For the 52 Boat Memorial, we have 2 all flags left at the end of the year. One is going to be on the 11th of November, Veterans Day. We're going to deploy at 7:30 and retrieve at 16:30. Right now, it looks like I will be the one getting the flags, which is why Harry would be pulling the float. That's because Jack may not be able to make the parade or anything on Veterans Day. The second one is going to be 7th December, Pearl Harbor Day. That's a Saturday. We're going to deploy at 7:30 and retrieve at 16:30. We haven't had any contact with the Point Loma Association about the weeks. They may want to do things on Friday, so hopefully we'll have more information at the November meeting. Float committee, oh, that's me. So Harry and I met up at my house on the 21st of September, and we became seamen again, and we basically chipped paint and chipped and painted the lift for the sub. It looks good. Hopefully it'll last a little bit longer. We also configured and made some braces. They're made with PVC and magnets to clip in front and behind the tires, and they will keep the banner from hitting the tire while we're rolling along. So those were the improvements that we've made on the float. Probably won't be anything to do with the float the rest of the year.
Tried to make it motorized, but it didn't work.
Yeah. Any questions about the float? All right.
Did you name the needle gun you used?
Let me see, the needle gun was Harry and Mike. That's we were, yeah, it was scraping. It would have been nice to have some pneumatic tools, but yeah, nothing fancy. It was just Harry and Mike. Or Mike and Harry, however you want to do it. Oh, that's Mike and Ike, so the dessert candy. Neil, Boy Scout coordinator.
So far, to bring it up to date, from the first of the year, this month, we've given a certificate of recognition to 22 scouts, and I've got 3 more coming up this month, so that'll make it 25 so far.
Any questions for Neil? All right, thank you. When are the ones occurring this month? When is the ceremonies this month?
The 22nd of October, up at the San Marcos Church in the assembly area. And it starts at 6 o'clock.
All right, if anybody can make that, it's in here, 22nd of this month, San Marcos Church, the assembly area at 6 p.m. All right, how many of you brought your singing voices with you? So, and when we go to take our break, we get to share this cake here. But there was a price to pay for this cake. And the price to pay is we have to sing happy birthday to the VFW. Because it's 125 years for the VFW.
No.
All right? Yeah.
The members, yeah.
Yeah,
Tell them to pay attention. You don't sing that often.
I know you're all involved in watching the game, but we have to earn our cake.
Yes, you do.
All right. Honorable. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear VFW. Happy birthday to you.
125 more. All right.
Happy birthday.
We're going to take a 10-minute break. We're going to cut up the cake, get a piece of cake. Somebody can have my piece because I don't do sugar. So you can have my piece. And make sure you do the 50-50. By the way, we have 2 read-in returns. We have this book, Running Critical. To be honest, I snuck this. Jason had this. He gave it to me to bring back, and I read it. So this is a really good book.
Coupon. Is that a return?
Well, this is a read and return, and then there's yeah, it is about the war between General Dynamics, Rickover, and you learn a little bit more about Rickover and some of the issues that came up when they were developing the 688 fast attack.
Right.
And if I'd read this before I went on a 688, I might not have gone on a 688 because hearing about some of the problems.
You didn't hear that,
For example, you know, they happened to recut the subs back apart to re-weld them because their welds were all wrong.
Yeah.
So this is a very, very enlightening book. And then we have the Navy Historical Foundation. You said you won this outright, or is this a read and return?
I won that, so that's kind of a read and return.
It's a read and return.
Read and return.
And so 10-minute break.
Yeah.
Day. You just took it, and it came out
All
really
right. Break is over. I hope everybody got a
Judy needs
piece
to
of
come over and
cake.
pick it then. She's been serving everybody, so she can come pick the winner.
Is it me?
Yeah, you're gonna
I
pick,
can pick my own ticket?
you can pick your own
I'll
ticket.
let you do that.
Did you do that already one
We're
time
gonna do the
before?
50-50. It's gonna be $32 to the lucky winner.
Yes,
32.
just one.
But I gotta shake them out good.
628-4986. Last four, 4986.
4986 is the last four.
Oh,
Here we get it. Got it? Yeah, see?
There you go. Everyone
You're
on
a big spender.
Bless you.
no, it's fastened.
4986.
All right. Yeah,
4986. This is yours.
It's a match.
And now I need you to pick it. Oh. Ferocious.
You didn't like that,
Moving
though.
too fast, it was just coming by there. He come out from under
All right, now for read and return.
Read and return. 828-5002.
Oh, that is me.
There's your coupon for the one you already read.
You already read one, so you just get that one.
I'm looking for.
That's a good book.
All right, I'm gonna take a look at it.
Where's your ticket?
Where's your ticket?
No ticket, no laundry. Okay.
I guess I gotta get to draw the
You
next
got
one.
to draw the next one.
And so the last one is the running critical. It is
Yeah.
it's a really good, it's an eye-opening book. All right, 828
Go.
4971. 4971.
Oh, that's us.
Pass.
Pass.
Last four. 828 4992.
4992.
4992. 4992.
You gonna take it? You want the book?
4992.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll read it.
All right. Before we move on to unfinished business, there's a clarification that needs to be made.
Basis Thursday.
The Boy Scouts event is gonna be at the San Carlos Methodist Church on Navajo Road. That was the San Carlos Methodist Church on Navajo Road. All right,
Hold on. Is this initial by that?
moving on to unfinished business. Christmas party. It is set for the 14th of December from 1 to 4 o'clock. John, our gracious host, he has asked to see if there could be somebody to step up to cook the meal. So far, there has been
Is this your dad?
It's my dad.
So you want 8
crickets.
You put
So
8
we're gonna
calendars?
have to
Huh? Do you want to
contemplate
Do you want to
maybe doing something else besides a dinner for the Christmas party. We can have the Christmas party, but we may need to consider something else. Think about it. We will revisit at the November meeting, which is on November the 12th, by the way. However, we do need 3 volunteers. We do have 1 person who is willing to step up to help with the Christmas party. We need 3 volunteers. We need a person to actually coordinate for the meal. And then we need a second person to coordinate the door prizes. And we need a third person to do the tickets. Ray said he would do the tickets. So we need 2 people to step up to help out. The meal, coordinate the meal, and coordinate the door prizes. So, I don't know if I mentioned this at the last meeting, I have an idea for how to get volunteers. So you need to contemplate this and come ready to volunteer in November. So my method of getting volunteers is I can ask you and you can say no, or I can pull your name out of a hat. We'll put everybody's, whoever shows up at the November meeting, everybody's gonna, nobody will be here in November. It'll just be me. By the way, if there's only one person that shows up, there is no meeting. We'll pull your name out of a hat, but for our events to go off, we need people to help step up. It can't always be the same people doing it time and time again. Just so you know, I'm a full-time employee. I work 60 hours a week. So I'm not retired. And I'm having issues with my mother. My brother and I are moving her up to Rhode Island in October, the end of this month. I'm trying to figure out when I can go to clean out her apartment. So I need people to help. Need people to help. All right, we're gonna table the Christmas party until next month. All right, something from last month. Donation for the Western Region Roundup. Remember last meeting, if you were here, I threw down the gauntlet. And I said, if we can raise up to $300, I would at least $300, I would match up to $300 as a donation for our base. Now you had the option to go and donate via the website. You just would have to bring your receipt, or you could give Harry money. People have given Harry money. Harry, how much money have you gotten?
$300.
He's got $300. Anybody else want to donate to Harry? You're actually donating to Western Region.
300 comes from the young man standing up there.
So, what did I say? Like, where'd the money go? 1, 2, 3. I love That's poker money. That's poker money. So now, that means that we will be, let me pick up the microphone. What that means is, Harry's now gonna cut a check as a donation from the San Diego base to the Western Region Roundup for $650. Because there's $600 there, $300 from the members, $300 from me, and then the $50 that we agreed to several months ago. Over Fred's objection. Fred's not here to object anymore. So, very proud of you guys.
Sure.
Anybody else want to donate? I'll match it. All right. On Saturday, if you were listening closely when I was talking about Fort Kip, there was an audit that occurred, and Ray's here to talk about the audit of the books. Very bad, very bad.
Well, we'll let you double what we found wrong. Okay, we had a very good audit for the first time in quite a few years, so we had a good, excellent check of all the paperwork involved with the audit of the funds of the group. The first item was Harry has changed a lot of the records as far as identifying the different funds in, funds out, and the spreadsheet that he has built up now has a very good way of following up how we receive funds, where we expended funds. For information, Harry is a past person who did 40-some years in the banking industry. He has a very lot of knowledge, and we relied on that and learned a lot. But right now, that part is being done. He has identified the way of, and there were no irregularities as far as the funds that were available. But we have a better way of doing it now. We are switching it from a checking account number to a calendar situation where we'll have a first of the month, where every month we'll have a decent dollar that's up to date when we come to meeting on our Tuesday night. Okay, the executive board needs to develop a procedure to obtain copies of the permanent record of our account, i.e. Harry keeps a He set it up now with a spreadsheet. It's very easy to look at and determine where the money's coming from and where it's going. His present firm, he keeps it on his personal computer at his home, and he makes a thumb drive copy of that file every month for the record purposes and backup in case something happens to his computer. The audit committee recommends that we establish a way that the executive board will go and obtain a copy of that thumb drive every month so that we have a permanent record off-site in case of fire or any problem that Harry might have with his equipment or whatever. We will have a copy of your records off-site. The executive board needs to vote and provide documentation to the treasurer for approval of any pay that is outside of the non-budgeted items from the might help you here, Jim. The budget. Right now, we make a very rough budget every December. It's covered over by the board and then put into the record of the minutes or as an attachment to the minutes of what we are making for the, identify the budget for the next year. It's been very flexible and not very well followed in the history of the group for the last 10 years or so. So what we're recommending is that we establish a better way the board is handling the budget each month, i.e. a little bit more detail in it than what it currently has, and that if we have any changes or to it, the board will be able to pop that up and know about it and let the membership know if it's something significant. If not, we intend to better follow the budget each year. Last item I'll say is the committee was satisfied with the sub-vets funds. They are in order. We did not identify any permanent problems, no discrepancies. Bottom line, right now we had a good detailed examination of the books and the records for the first time in quite a few years. You can be assured that right now your funds are being handled and they are there, and it's in the report that's attached to the minutes every meeting we come to. Anybody got any questions on the audit? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. The last item on old business is, last month I proposed getting rid of the read and return. That vote was at 50-50. 50 for getting rid of it, 50 for keeping it. One person didn't vote, that was me, because it was my proposal and I was not going to be the swing vote. But there was a motion to table that to this month. It is now this month. And actually, Chris came up with a great recommendation, and I'm going to allow Chris to talk about his recommendation for read and return.
I propose we keep read and return, except the person who provides the book the first time has to acknowledge it may not come back. But in the book, at the time of the meeting, you'll say, this is read and return. You might want to put a card in it, read and return, remind the person after you get done reading it, bring it back so somebody else can read it. But if we do a read and return and knowing it may not come back, we don't have to have a librarian keeping track of all that stuff. So it's pretty simple. Just if you want to read and return, bring it and hope it comes back.
All right, so I had made the proposal to terminate read and return. As far as I'm concerned, that was kind of voted down. We now have a new proposal from Chris of keeping read and return with the member who donates the book determining whether the book is read and return, with the understanding that it may never come back. Is there anybody who wants to second Chris's motion?
I'll second it.
We have 1 second. We have a third. It's now opening up to discussion. Is there anybody who wants to discuss this matter any further about the read and return policy?
Make Chris the librarian.
We don't need a library.
Seeing that there are no comments, all in favor of Chris's proposal to keep read and return, but to modify it such that the donor determines whether the book is read or return with the understanding he may never come back. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The motion carries. So read and return will continue. And it is the person who has donated the book who determines what is read and return. All right. Moving on to new business. Next month, we need to start nominating base officers. We're going to need a new secretary. I flatly tell you, we're going to need a new secretary. But we need somebody to run the nominating committee. I have a person in mind. This person ran it last year. Is that person willing to do it this year?
I think he's got his hearing aid turned on. Hey, it's you over there.
All right, so we have our nominating committee, which is
Me and myself.
Dennis. Is there anybody who wants to help Dennis with the nominations on the nominating committee? I guess nobody wants to help you.
You can.
Wow. I can't.
You're staying in position, correct?
Well, technically, I was appointed just to finish out Bob's or Dean's term.
Oh, so to make it official, you have to run.
Yeah, then I have to run.
All
We're all gonna have to run in, so to understand is the
I'll help
process is.
him.
Paul's, well,
I'll help him. My wife probably kill me, but I'll help you.
All right, Paul.
you can't,
I got a small shed you can
Why?
hide in.
you can't.
Can't be an elected
You can't.
officer.
I'm not elected. I was just chosen.
You are going to be elected.
No, I'm not.
Paul, while you're at it, put me down on your scholarship. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so if you want to nominate somebody for a position, including nominating yourself to replace me,
Tell Dennis.
Get a hold of me. Email
get a hold of
her.
Dennis. You can all take over my spot.
Are you Robert Nichols?
James here.
James Nichols, excuse me.
Sorry I'm late. They
You're
locked
gonna give me
down.
$10, right?
I have your $10, sure.
Our new member.
We have a new member.
Got the duty, it looks like to me.
Somebody wants
So,
Yes, sir, yep.
as part of the initiation for the new members, by the way, I'm Mike Cosgrove, I'm the base commander. You get to stand up and introduce yourself, tell us about yourself, where you qualify, what you're doing now.
Well, I'm AT1 Nichols now. I had a back injury, so the Navy let me stay in by going to the aviation side of the house. So I've gotten to go out on carriers. I've been on 2 submarines. First one was USS Missouri, Virginia class submarine, SSN 780. And my second submarine was SSN 784, USS North Dakota. I didn't finish that tour. That's when I had the back injury, had to get back surgery. But I was in 13 years in the sub force, and I've been in naval aviation for about 3 or 4 years now, and I have 3 years left, and I'll be able to retire at 20. So, yeah, congratulations. I hope that was thorough enough.
I want everybody to look at his uniform,
Oh, yeah.
the submarines.
I know it's a Fisher on top.
Yep, I left them on. My other uniforms are updated. I did earn my air warfare as well, and I still wear my submarine Dolphins below the air warfare because I'm in that community now. But I put my old uniform, my non-updated uniform on for the.
We also have submarine calendars for next year if you'd like to buy one, or $12.
Okay.
Huh?
Is this email on our list?
Give it to you.
All right, so Dennis is the nominating committee, going back to that.
And Paul. And Paul.
Well, you
Yeah,
can't-
yeah,
you
get
can't
ahold of
vote.
me.
Get a hold of Dennis, nominate somebody, yourself, to be a base officer. I am willing to run again as the base commander. I'm sure Harry's willing to run again as treasurer.
Write this down?
Yeah. So, and I'm willing to take all competition if you want to be base commander.
You're gonna have it all right.
All right, moving on to go to the order. We'll recognize people for about 5 minutes. Just stand up, we'll give you the microphone, tell us who you are, even though we know. That's like having the fun. And what you want to talk about. Initially, we have the Western Region Roundup is going to be
You got it?
March 6th through the 8th. We finally have things hammered out with the Queen Mary. They should be sending out an email for registration. You can go to the Western Region Roundup website. Go to www.wrroundup.com and you should be able to register for the Western Region. You can make a reservation for the Queen Mary. It's gonna be about $200 a night, but that's the price in LA, and that'll be the price here in San Diego.
Biden inflation.
Part of inflation.
No, Biden inflation.
Biden inflation. All right, Matt wanted me to speak for him. His voice is a little worse than my voice. I flew over the weekend. Weather in New Orleans, back to the weather here. Ooh.
Wow.
My voice. So, Matt had to get some window tinting removed from his car. It was bubbling. So he called these people called Blackout Window Tint. Blackout Window Tint. A woman by the name of Sarah De La Rosa. She runs the outfit. They came out to do it, spent about an hour working on his car. When they found out he was a veteran, they charged him nothing.
Wow.
So he said he would put out the information for them at our meeting. I have their card, but I gotta give it back to him. So you can see Matt, if you wanna get more information about Blackout Window Tint, if you want to tint your windows. Even the back of the card shows some things. I will tell you, front windows, so that's the windshield and the driver's side windows, cannot be tinted more than 70%. So this here, I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
Back window, back passenger window, and back rear window can be tinted as dark as you want,
As long as you have the mirror,
as long as you have the mirrors.
which is normal for cars.
I'm gonna tell you, if you tint your front windows, like your front driver's side and passenger window and your windshield, you will get stopped by the cops. You will get stopped.
And then they'll go to Mike's court.
Nah,
Go to the veteran.
I'm just giving you some.
No, that's all true.
All right. Oh,
Absolutely.
something else that for good of the order is I was sent. So I was sent a letter in an attempt to better inform my members of the charitable foundation. They sent me several pamphlets dealing with the charitable foundation. So this, if you don't know what the charitable foundation is, it is meant to help our members in time of need. It helps with memorials. It helps with libraries. They created a fund for the Western region so that donations can be tax deductible. I had the pamphlets if you want to see them after the meeting. We're also supposed to have a charitable foundation ambassador. It's a really just somebody people could contact for information. So if you're also interested, asking for volunteers, like herding cats here. Remember, don't like herding cats. I'll add the pamphlet. Is there anybody else for good of the order? Anyone else for the good of the order? All right, our next meeting is November the 12th, 7 p.m. right here. No excuses. All right, there being no further business, I remind you of this promise. Let no word or deed of mine cause any injury to the person or family of any member. I hereby adjourn this meeting of the United States Submarine Veterans Incorporated San Diego base. Oh, that surface.
Perfect.